Hello, welcome to Star Wars Spelt Out. This is Josh Chapman speaking, and we're back in the home studio today, and this time we're not on Skype. We've got a guest in. He's back from his extensive tour of Europe and Scandinavia. That's a Blues Brothers reference, if everybody gets that. He has actually really been overseas, but it's Andy Campbell. Hey, mate.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm good.
He's got a nice European tan going on over here. He's got his European haircut, his new fancy clothes. He's looking the part. He's come around on a Sunday afternoon to pick up his PlayStation that I borrowed off him while he was away so I could play Spider-Man.
Safekeeping.
And I said, well, while you're here, let's just knock out a quick podcast. You don't want to miss opportunity to podcast, do you?
No. And there was a lot of news while I was away and everything. So
yeah, exactly. Now, I know that you obviously have your own podcast. You haven't seen your co-host yet. There'll be things that you want to talk about with her, so I don't want to spoil all the Andy news, just on my podcast as well, because I want to make sure, obviously, you got stuff on that Geek pod to talk about with Catherine. Yeah. So, I'll let you lead on things. I'm sure you'll have other opinions on stuff. But first questions first. Did you see any episode 9 filming while you're in England?
No.
Oh, that's the time we got. What, I brought you all over here for that?
That's it. Sorry. Yeah, no. Nothing I could, nothing I heard about while I was over there, that anyone else already knew about, really. Yeah. So you weren't
up a tree or something like that, yeah. Jason Ward style, hiding in a bin?
No, none of that. And just too busy being a tourist, really.
Yeah, you're like, hey, look, I got to go,
Got to stick to the schedule.
Yeah, right. You just say to your partner, hey, we can go to the Tate Modern today, or we can go, to Twickenham and stand at the front of a building.
Yeah,
see if we can see inside what's happening like 3 kilometres behind a bunch of security that we won't be able to see. And that's the thing, it's like when the prequels are filming in Australia, like we knew that they were filming. It wasn't as if you could do anything.
Oh, yeah.
It's all just like in a big shed somewhere that you've got no access to.
Yeah, like everyone knew where it was, so...
Oh, well, I'm glad that it's happening, but I can't actually go. Oh, look, I wasn't expecting you to come in and have some sort of crazy story where
I've got a few scoops. No,
you saw John Boyega on the
scoops.
You sat next to John Boyega on a bus or something like that.
No, nothing really. Nothing to report, really.
There goes our Europe correspondence.
Yeah.
Right there.
I was in Dubrovnik, so, I was around the Canto Bite.
Some of it's like the street scenes and stuff, wasn't it?
The street scenes, yeah.
Did they have anything like Star Wars was here?
Well, yeah, they had a walking tour that showed the scenes of when Finn and Rose are on the Favia.
Yep, close enough.
Sounded right to me. And, just riding through the town and the alleys. And I think the alley that they go down where it's undercover.
Well, it looks like they're going to lose their head. They look like they're going to get their heads knocked off. We walked to that area and they showed, and it's a pretty narrow. Yeah, well, on the Blu-ray they kind of show that they did shoot that for real, like on the street and stuff as well. So that's Croatia. Is that right?
Croatia and in the city of Dubrovnik, old town where they also shoot Game of Thrones.
So was that a destination spot because of that, or you just happened to be going?
It was more destination spot for me because of Game of Thrones, and also knowing it's Canto Bite.
Yep.
Outside of Canto.
Still counts though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't think I've seen...
And they had a few merch stores there.
Oh, really? They're not missing a beat, are they? I mean, surely if Game of Thrones had been there for a while...
Yeah, it's a huge tourist, it's basically financing the whole town.
All the Thronesies. I don't know, what do they call Game of Thrones fans? Thronesies? No. I don't know.
I don't think this...
It's not like a Trekkies version of Game of Thrones.
No. I think... You're just a fan. I don't think they have a name yet.
It's probably too popular. Just like, hey, look, everybody likes Game of Thrones. Yeah. You can't really pigeonhole a bunch of people.
Yeah, no, I can't think of a name for any. And even on the tour that I was on, she didn't say hey, we're all this, aren't we?
Come on, Thronesies, this way.
Yeah,
I'm gonna peg Thronesies. I'm gonna.
There you go.
I'm gonna get Thronesies.com.
Starting a trend.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to a Game of Thrones convention and start throwing around Thronesy. Did you go to Ireland? Oh, you went to Ireland as well, though, didn't you?
Yeah, we went to Cork.
I've been to Cork.
Yeah, which is...
I only got punched in the head in Cork, but that's another story.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it's not suitable for the podcast.
We stayed in a little seaside area called Kinsale, which is just down
Kinsale,
south.
that sounds Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it's just down south of Cork. And, yeah, we stayed there for a few days. I was planning to see if they could drive me the 2 hours to go to Skellig Michael, but it's the off-season. They don't do boat tours.
Right.
Plus the weather's not good.
Yep.
So that was a bit of a shame because I really, wanted to check that out.
I wonder if they like when it actually is in season, they will take you, I guess, if the price is right.
They have a boat tour that just goes around the boat, or you pay extra and you take the walking tour.
You can go up the steps, up the Jedi steps.
The steps and everything, yeah.
Wow. They must be loving that now too, I suppose.
Oh, they do. Our friend that we're staying with, she took her partner as a gift because he's a big fan to Skellig Michael, and they got to do the tour, and I just thought, yeah, I really want to
that'd be like that. No disrespect to Canto Bight,
but yeah,
you'd take that one. Yeah, that feels like almost like maybe not. Well, Tatooine, it's getting up to it'd be a bit. It wouldn't be as hot.
Yeah,
so
and like you got nice. It's it's seaside. You got birds. You got
porgs.
Yeah, you got porgs. Porgs. Yeah, you'll find porgs, I'm sure. And it's just a very mysterious island, so it's probably a lot more touristy than...
Yeah, it'd be weird though. I mean, hopefully you just kind of... I mean, I haven't been on it, obviously. But, if you get off the boat and they kind of lead you up and lead you down, I hope that you don't get there and there's like a gift shop at the bottom of the thing.
No, I don't think there's anything like that.
I think it's very... You got to... I mean,
hop on, hop off.
Like on the Blu-ray stuff when they're talking about filming there, it was very... You got to leave it the exact same way you found it kind of thing.
Oh, of course, yeah. No, that's true.
You can't muck around.
No.
Well, it sounds like you had a few little,
Yeah, no, I had a great time in Europe.
Come back all refreshed.
Yeah.
So, how are you feeling about Star Wars at the moment, Andy?
I'm still feeling good, man.
Feeling good?
Yeah, especially after Resistance.
Yeah, right. So, how'd you feel on Resistance?
Well, when I could find a way to watch it.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it. I really enjoy the show.
After it wasn't the same episode twice.
Yes, that's
After
it.
your
yeah.
Connect gave you the wrong one by mistake.
That's all right.
So we need to go to details.
We got there. And I watched, I think, the third episode. I think that's the one where the pirates are attacking.
Yeah, that was a good cracker, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think I watched them out of order because I watched that one. The numbering's a bit weird because... It's like, is the first one 1 and 2, and then is the next one 3, or is the second one
4?
Yeah, it's the same with Rebels when they do these double episodes.
Right.
It's always like, am I watching the 2, the 3? Yeah, so I'd watched Catherine and I watched the pilot, the first one, the double ep, which we did the review on, which was on. Everybody's obviously heard that if you're listening to this, and and I watched the other ones the other day with the pirates attacking, which I thought was some of the designs were just.
I just love the space combat and all that.
There was the Tidarian shuttle, like the pirate.
Yeah,
that was so cool. That was awesome.
And then at the end, when they go and you check out, and you're like Phasma, and there's the Red Trooper, and he's like, this was not part of the plan. All that stuff with the pirates, and we were told bad information, and he'll be punished. And it's just like, oh my god, they're dealings with local pirates, like I thought like the first order would be like, oh no, we don't need to work with anyone. But it's like, no, they still need to work with,
for a supposed secret organization.
Yeah.
They've got a few, it was cool. It definitely, the moments where it opens up to the wider world.
Yeah, I like that.
And they go, oh, wow, that's quite intriguing.
And
how they're doing
I like
that.
Jaeger because he's he's got that mentor, he's supposed to be that mentor type character to the main guy.
Kaz.
We'll say Kaz.
Yeah.
And there's also some mysterious thing of him.
Oh, well, then there was a bit where they go like, oh, he was in the Battle of Jakku, and then you see him in the Rebel flights. You're like, oh, that's awesome. He was like an X-Wing pilot or something.
Now I have another reason to play Battlefront again.
to relive the good times.
Yeah.
Oh, bloody Battlefront. That's just a little bone to pick with Battlefront. The last 4 times I've tried to play Battlefront, I've just sat in the lobby.
Yeah.
Nothing. Just like tick, 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 tick.
I was the same before I left, and when the Han Solo, all that content dropped, I'm like, oh, sweet, I want to play. Couldn't get a Starfighter going. Couldn't get even a Conquest normal thing going. It was just all like I don't know, 6 teams aside or something, like all corridors, like hand combat, like that was it. There was no.
Just load me with bots
anything.
or something. Just let me play it.
Yeah, I know what the servers in Australia, but I just couldn't do anything.
It's annoying because I would like to sort of go back and, you know, check in and play it every now when there's new stuff.
But solo stuff and with Grievous and all that coming now.
Like, they're going, hey, General Grievous is coming. And we're like, yeah, but if I can't get on, like, why am I going to bother? Do I have to get on the night that it happens when some people decide to take an interest again for 5 minutes? And
maybe because the time difference. Like, no one plays. Yeah, maybe everyone's just playing at night, and that's the best time to do it. Yeah,
so I don't really play it. Like, I'll nap time on Mondays, on nap time when I'm home. That's sort of a window, or on a Sunday afternoon if I'm not podcasting, you know. Yeah. Sometimes I've got little windows and stuff. But, it's a shame, really, because it's sort of when... You know, I was really getting into Battlefront for a while.
Right,
I'll have to go back and just play the single player mission or something, but
yeah. Oh well.
Doesn't matter. So yeah, Resistance is it's got off to a flyer, I think.
Yeah,
it was the tone's kiddie, but I don't, in places, but that's fine. I don't care. It's fun.
I think it's grown, even though we've only seen 3 to 4 episodes. I'm finding it more mature, especially, like I said, with the last one.
Oh, the Jaeger, and they're like, oh, he had a family. It's like, well, that's dark. Like, what happened to his family?
Yeah. And then, like, you know, with the first order, like, you know, all that stuff about wanting...
So apparently the Elijah Wood is in one of those episodes. So
really?
Apparently he's the episode where there's like the other team and there's the young guy and they try to take advantage of him to steal the coaxium.
He's one of the guys.
I think he's the blonde guy, I think.
I like that episode. That's good.
Yeah, that was quite clever. And they did tied in with the Carillion fuel and stuff.
Yeah,
and
I also love all the prequel, like the pit droids.
Yeah.
Like their little noise and...
Yeah, it's great how
the two junk seller guys, they're quite funny as well.
Now, is one of those... I said on the thing that he was an Ugnaught. He is an Ugnaught, or does he just look like an Ugnaught?
I think he's an Ugnaught. He's a different...
Yeah, because after I said it, I'm going, maybe I'm just looking stupid and he's not on Ugnaught.
Yeah, it's a big... He seems more like a big, heavier, and the size is different. Ugnaught seemed smaller.
Yeah, right.
To me, anyway.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
Because here's Bobby Moynihan from SNL, and the other guy is the dean from Community.
Yeah, I just love like their banter between each other. Like I think Kaz was saying, "Oh yeah, I don't really have any money for these parts," and they just like do this look, and then they start putting all the parts. Like, yeah, we don't do freebies here.
Yeah, that's not how we roll here.
Yeah. But I'm enjoying that a lot. And yeah, no, I still love Star Wars. Still reckon they're doing awesome work.
Have you? Because I think Solo Blu-ray dropped while you were overseas. So have you gone through the extras or anything yet?
No, I haven't had even a chance to buy it. Like I watched it on the plane. Yep, they had it on the plane.
The best way to watch a movie on a plane.
So I watched it there, but no, I haven't. I looked at the 4K one today, but I just thought, I'm living out of a suitcase at the moment, so there's just like, I think I'll just wait until all my stuff's actually
set
out
up
and set up.
Get it just the way you like it.
Yeah, like so I might buy it digitally and just watch it on the old iPad and check out the extra scenes because I have heard of the extra scenes here and there, but I haven't actually seen anything.
Yeah. I bought the 4K. I don't know, the week it came out, and it's good. It's the extras are pretty good. I would really like a commentary track. Which is a bit of a bummer. No commentary track.
Oh, I love commentary track.
But the deleted scenes are pretty good. Some of the behind the scenes stuff's pretty cool. Oh, nice. It's actually interesting. They sort of, I don't know if it's just the way that they've edited it, but it feels like it covers almost the whole film. And Ron Howard is pretty much there on almost everything. And you kind of go, wow, they must have really reshot a lot of this.
So do you reckon, after seeing what you've seen, it was more than 70% from what I've heard? Do you reckon it's more
70 probably feels about right. It feels like the only bit that he wasn't there for because they were kind of like all the time they're going like, oh, today we're shooting, we're in the hangar, or we're in, at the spaceport, or we're in the Dryden's party, or we're at the card game, or we're at but it was when they were up on when they're in the snow.
Oh, the snow, yeah.
Yeah, and they're basically getting ready to do the job. And I think before and after that, so they're kind of like up a mountain, because there's like a deleted scene where Han and Chewie are like throwing snowballs and stuff as well. Yeah,
I saw that.
So that bit there where they're up a mountain somewhere. I don't think Ron Howard was there for that, because they're kind of talking to like the director of photography, or they're talking to, the camera operator or other people. So it's not the Lord and Miller, but it's not Ron Howard. So I feel like that stuff there, because it's like location shoot as well.
Yeah.
That wasn't Ron Howard.
Oh, okay.
So I think pretty much everything else, like, I think all the Kessel stuff felt like Ron Howard was on that. I have to go back and double, but I did kind of go, wow, he's there a lot on this. So I reckon that, and maybe some of the stuff at the very end where they're outside, and the Memphis Nest turns up, and they had the standoff and all that kind of sequence. I think that, because that was on sort of location as well. Because I think apart from that, I think they're the sort of two major outside bits. I think they look like that they're really outside. So you're going to go, yeah, wow, they must have really. Whew.
Yeah, but that's good though. They are showing that, because a lot of people always think, I don't know, from what I've read, people always go, oh, they're hiding this and they're not showing that. But it's like, well, no, as you can see,
Yeah, there was like, unless they had a CG Ron Howard that they just stuck in the background of places and things, but I don't think so. But
No.
It's good. It was. It's always like you get all the bonus stuff, and I kind of put a night aside and sat there and just watched all the bonus stuff and got through it. I was like, oh yeah, that's.
Oh,
good.
did you see that thing? It was put up on Twitter. How there's that scene where Infus Nest is talking when she's getting her drink. And then she mentions the Resistance, and there's the music cue, dun da 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 da.
Oh, really?
And then it just sort of fades into the other music. Did you see
No,
that?
I didn't. No, I haven't seen that.
Someone picked it up on Twitter, and I just during my my break, and I just found like, oh my god, they are putting things in to match future things, like
laying the foundation.
Yeah, I still don't understand how people are just still upset with everything, and like they don't connect to anything. It's like they've just connected sort of the birth of the rebellion and / the resistance with the same tune. Like that,
it's all connected.
Mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing for me with those type of things.
Yeah, there was a bit of criticism when the Blu-ray came out that they were sort of talking to Ray Park. I mean, he was, obviously they're kind of like, who's someone we can get, who's available, who can help promote. They're talking up Darth Maul in it.
That's right, yeah.
But, it was a side, because I suppose, Woody Harrelson and the other guys are a bit bigger. They're not going to promote the DVD, but, you can get Ray Park probably a bit cheaper. But they're like, why didn't they, get the lady who played Memphis Nest? And I was thinking about it. I'm going, well, so many people didn't see it.
Yeah.
But people probably would have heard that Darth Maul was in it.
Yeah.
But you would probably still get that surprise about Memphis Nest if you had, you know what I mean? Like, you probably wouldn't know that. That wouldn't be the thing that people would talk about. If someone was like, oh, I didn't get around to seeing Solo, and someone was like, oh, yeah, well, freaking, Darth Maul turns up at the end. But they're like, oh, I better go check that out. But the surprise of Memphis Nest would still be a surprise. So I think that is probably partially, I think that's probably why she wasn't sort of splashed around all of the DVD marketing and stuff. And we're like, well, we can still have that surprise, because that was still a genuine surprise.
And I think the actress is busy at the moment.
Yeah, well, that's plus that as well.
She's in a new series of Les Mis.
Yeah, right.
That is getting shot, because I follow her on Instagram. All her stories are her in the trailer getting ready to shoot.
Didn't they just do Les Mis?
They did the movie, but I think they're doing like a series of Les Mis, and she's in it.
Is it more singing, or is it?
I think it is more singing.
Right.
Which is fine with me, because I'm a big fan of Les Mis. So that is one thing I did in London as well.
You saw Les Mis?
I saw the production. It was
I have seen
fantastic.
Les Mis in London. I took friends to it one year when I went. I didn't see. Just getting a little off track. What else did I see in the West End in London? Oh, I saw Spam-A-Lot.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw Book of Mormon.
Book of Mormon.
And I can't couple of other things as
Welcome
well.
to Musicals Podcast.
Yeah, with the Musicals
Josh and
podcast.
Andy.
Where's the Star Wars musical podcast? Where's the Star Wars West End show?
Yeah. Where is it?
There's one of the very first Mad magazines. I used to read Mad magazine when I was a kid, and I remember staying with my aunt in Melbourne one time, and there was this bookstore in Carlton. I think it might still be there. And they had like a box, this huge box of Mad magazines for like $2 each. And this is in the late 80s and stuff. So they're all ones from the late 70s, early 80s. But they had like the Empire Strikes Back, because they always parody stuff as it comes out. So they had the Return of the Jedi one, they had the Empire Strikes Back one, they had the Star Wars one. So I picked up all those ones because I was like, it's got Star Wars in it. I don't know what, I think I gave them all away eventually. I really wish I hadn't. But the Star Wars one was the musical. So the parody was so the cover was like R2 and Vader, and they're all doing like a can kind of. I'll see if I can find the photo of it. I'm sure I can find it online. But it was all of them were all songs and stuff, and it was all just like set to famous show tunes and things. They'd redone the plot of it was all like, we're off to blow the Death Star, and it was all kind of stuff like that. I'll have to find it. Yeah, it'd be worth a look, cool. I reckon. Yeah. I just could have, because I was like, Star Wars musical. Yeah, they haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
Somebody call KK and say, get the West End show.
Yeah, let's do it.
Give me like the Spider-Man one, whatever it was.
God, yeah.
Where people were like,
involved.
Yeah, get you two involved. Jeez. Star Wars, turn off the dark. Star Wars, turn off the dark side.
Yeah.
No, not happy with that. Andy's just screwing his face
work with me.
That's all right. Yeah, so what about Mandalorian?
Oh, that looks good. From the photo we've seen.
From the one photo.
Or maybe two photos. The weapon and, him in the suit.
And there's the ice cream. Isn't there the ice cream maker as well?
Yeah, the ice cream maker.
Was it Wilfred Hood or whatever his name is?
Yeah, Wilro Hood?
Wilro Hood?
Yeah.
Wilfred Hood. Wilro Hood. Yeah, so that feels like that. It does feel like a lot of fan service going on, doesn't it?
Yeah. And like George was on set recently, which is good. Good to see. He's, all those people saying, Disney doesn't want him being involved at all. Yeah, clearly from this photo of him on set.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was always the premiere of Force Awakens where he was kind of there looking a bit like he's going to his ex-wife's wedding kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's in some of the interviews straight after, it seemed like he was a bit sort of, maybe not jaded, but a bit kind of like,
he just had to get.
Everybody seemed a bit too happy that I wasn't involved. You know what I mean? Like, I think he was a bit like, everybody seems too jazzed and I'm not there. Because I think originally he said, I'll do episode 7 and then you guys can, run. And they're like, we've got this. We'll just do our own thing. And thank you. Here's your $5 billion or whatever. And you can kind of. So I think he was a bit miffed for a bit, kind of going, everybody kind of moved on pretty quick. Everybody seemed pretty happy that I wasn't there. And we've all, you've got the new young, sexy wife and husband or whatever. And I'm just the other guy on the thing. But he certainly seems to have.
I think Disney's learned, like Bob came out, I think, a few weeks ago now, saying they're slowing down on things, which is good. So I think maybe that they're realizing, we need George to.
Oh yeah, I think they just
help us out. Just come visit, give us some notes.
I think the credibility.
You need that.
You get the credibility with him there.
Yeah,
I think that really, that really helps. And I think he's just kind of like, look, this is good because I like Star Wars. I created it. I like to be within touching distance of it, but I guess it's not so bad if I can just go home and I don't have to think about it all the time. And I can just, I can still be kind of there and
with Filoni
show my support.
He knows Filoni and, he knows...
Ron, obviously.
Yeah, Ron knows Ron. So, there's people that he knows, so... Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if he wanted to go, if they turned around and said Series 2 Mandalorian, George Lucas is going to direct first episode.
Oh my God.
I don't think it's completely out of the realm of possibility that he would just be like, okay, we'll go down. We can put some. I mean, that would be great. I think people would really go. It'd be really nice to do a last hurrah where he did something that he could come in, do a good job, everybody would love, especially if you're doing like if Mandalorian, which looks like it's a bit of is a fan service thing, which is fine. It's giving people love Mandalore, and then
all those Boba Fett fans,
which is fine. I'm not a massive Fett dude, but I perfectly don't mind the character. But this goes well and people like it and they want more. and they go, hey, George, do you want to come in and do one? I think that'd be a great way where to say, oh, like he came back, he worked on a thing that people really liked, he just came, he did it. Rather than going, oh, he did Revenge of the Sith, and then he got so jaded with Star Wars, he eventually sold the company. He didn't want to be involved anymore.
It'll be a good thing for him to look back on and go,
It was really great to see my name on it
at the end.
Yeah. Came and did like the comeback album kind of thing, like the Krusty comeback special.
Yeah. But I'm looking forward to see what they do, and with them shooting, we'll clearly get something at Celebration.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to put it on wax. My Celebration prediction is Solo 2 is going to be announced at Celebration.
Really?
That is I think it's going to happen.
Now, are you on the take of it'll be called Lando and it'll be a continuation of that universe, but Lando's story?
No, I think it'll be Solo, like The Hutt something. So they're going to go, we're talking new movies, and we're, coming in 2021 or 2021 is going to be Solo, The Hutt. Won't be The Hutt Gambit. I think it's a Hutt Gambit book, but it'll be The Hutt something. So you basically get people going, yay, we want Solo. We realise we enjoyed it because it's doing big DVD numbers now. You can't find a copy of it at the Target that I went to. But anyway, that doesn't predict for everybody, but I think it's going to do enough business where they'll go, if we can do it for under 100 mil, we hit that window. Down. We've got enough goodwill now. It's got the, people like it.
Because I like the universe of Solo.
Yeah, we can do that. And when we throw Jabba the Hutt or Hutt in the title.
Well, yeah,
so we know
that's where he's going.
Yep. So you put that in straight away, people go, boom, I'm excited. Love me some Jabba the Hutt. Yeah. And we'll probably chuck Boba Fett in some trailers and stuff as well. Yeah. Everyone's going to be going Mandalorian crazy.
And
I just feel like that is going to be something that they'll announce.
Okay.
That they'll go, yep, we're going to do another Solo.
See,
even if we're going to do another Solo, we're going to do it. I don't think they'll do streaming. Like, I would even take a 6-part series.
People would say a 6-part series for Obi-Wan.
Yep.
I'll be able
I've talked that up a few times.
Because Ewan McGregor's done TV. He was in Fargo for season 3.
That's right. You can do a slow burn, 6 episodes in a desert.
In the desert, that's all you need.
Do it for cheap. You can keep those Mandalore sets because it looks like they're in the desert anyway.
And he won't be doing full-on movie promotions. He just promotes the streaming service.
They could do a Band of Brothers style. What they did with Band of Brothers when they shot Saving Private Ryan, they shot Band of Brothers on a lot of the same places. So they basically had 2 productions going at the same time. They're like, hey, well, we've got this big F-off World War II movie going, but we'll actually shoot the TV show at the same time. We can utilise all the tanks and
I loved how they used Russian tanks and then dressed them over to make them look like German tanks because there aren't any working tanks.
Yeah, that's right. They're like, oh, what happened to them?
It's Russian ones. We'll just dress it up.
No one will know. So, that's my Celebration prediction is Solo 2.
Oh, okay.
Solo Harder, or whatever it's going to be called. Yeah. I don't have any juice.
See, I'm sort of with you there, but I reckon I'm thinking more it'll be something to do with Lando, so I'm not thinking...
Lando will definitely be in it.
It'll probably be Lando, a Star Wars story, but I reckon they should name it like a name of a mission or a planet.
Well, that was why I was just like, you put Hutt in the title, so people go, all right, Jabba the Hutt's involved. We all like Jabba the Hutt.
Or I
would just assume that they would go, we just assumed that Lando would be there. If we're going to have Han, we'll have Lando. Because that wouldn't be the last time they'd run into each other.
Gosh, what could we do? So so Solo and Lando, they're smugglers. So maybe Smugglers Bound, a Star Wars story.
Yeah,
it'll be like Lando, and you got Han and Chewie in there.
Yeah. Or you could just call it the Millennium Falcon gang.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something along those lines. But yeah, I just think they're going to... I think it's going to do enough business.
Or even Han Solo Adventures, a Star Wars story.
Yep. Well, they've already got the Solo, so I just feel like they'll just go Solo, this Hutt something, the Lando Hutt conundrum or something. I don't know.
What was the Chinese translation? Ranger.
Oh, Ranger Solo.
Ranger Solo.
Ranger Solo, please come see this movie.
Yeah.
Please come.
But that's. I thought that was all dead and buried, like they weren't going to continue with it. But I really like that universe. Like, I like.
I
that
just have a
time
feeling that they're gonna have another crack. They're going to be like, we're not going to spend too much this time. We're going to do, 50 to 100 million.
Yeah.
That is still a lot of money, but if you only have to shoot it once,
That's right.
things are a lot more affordable. And they've kind of learnt their lesson on the release date stuff, because they could slot it into an off. Because obviously post 9, it's like, what are you going to...
Would you do cinema release, or would you do...
No, they'll do...
exclusive streaming movie?
No, I think they'll do cinema.
They'll do cinema?
Yeah. Because they've got to... I mean, they're still going to do one a year. So post 9, we got nothing. So if Rian Johnson's trilogy is still a couple of years away, they want to put something in that slot.
That's like more 2022.
Yeah, so they've still got to put... And even that'll be every second year.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the Game of Thrones guys, but maybe they'll just go, all right, we're going to do this, and they're going to intertwine. They're not going to, because I think originally they were going to do, winter, summer.
Yeah.
And now they're not going to do that. But
I don't know.
Who knows? We're not in charge.
Leave it in December, guys. Leave it in December.
I know. And now we're just coming up to December, and there's just nothing. Just boring old Christmas.
Yeah. I'll be working.
I'll have a new baby, so I probably will be. It's probably a pretty timing wise. It's well, I'm sure I could have gotten out as long as we didn't. Well, we're due on the 10th, and if we ran a week over like Olive was, it would have been right on that. That week. Was it sort of 16th, 17th of December that Last Jedi and Force Awakens, and that had come out on. So it might have been a situation where I'm going, all right, I'm going off to the midnight screening, and we're a week overdue here. So this ought to be interesting.
And then during the movie, your phone's buzzing like,
I'm like, that's gonna. Well, this just gets us to our other thing, because I messaged you before you came over and said, I was thinking. Haven't really talked much about episode 9 because there's been so much else going on.
That's right. Lots of TV talk.
So I just thought we'd dip into episode 9 and really basically go, who lives, who dies?
Oh, yeah.
Will they actually sort of knock a few characters off?
I have a few that I are certain.
Really? All right. So
my gut feeling.
I think it will be...
After what we saw in The Last Jedi, I'm like, I can see where these characters can lead.
So I think a little bit of it is, which we've touched on plenty of times before, like timeline dependency. So if we come in the movie 5 years from now, could be different to it picks up 1 year afterwards. I think we still don't know. It's not going to be Last Jedi next day.
3, but then we saw 3 years that 3 jump in Solo, and I'm like, well, they won't do that again. So it could be 5 to 10, maybe.
Well, it'll be between the films. So I think the film itself will be one time thing. They won't. Oh, sorry. Just for everybody at home, I'm trying to put a glass of water on the table behind me without looking, and Andy's going, you're just about to drop it all over your floor there, so just be careful. So I don't think they'll do a Solo where it's like, he's younger and then they'll jump forward 5 years. It'll just be these events happen within this period of time, but we pick up from Last Jedi a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, whatever it's going to be. Yeah. So I don't know. I think who lives, who dies. Well, we'll start off. Who will be already gone by the time the film starts? So Phasma, we assume, is gone.
Yeah, I think Phasma's gone.
She hasn't been mentioned in the cast stuff, has she, Gwendolyn Christie?
And if it's a JJ surprise, she's back. It's just like, well,
she fell down a hole, and then the ship exploded, and then she's pretty unkillable. Well, you just get a comic, you find out she fell all the way through the hole, on top of an escape pod.
Her,
yeah, she fell into an escape pod.
Yeah,
she fell into an escape pod and flew out.
So all right.
I wouldn't mind actually. I would almost be like, good on you for trolling everybody and just almost making it hilarious that she just can't be killed.
It's just a shame they wasted a really good actress with that character.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, you're getting more of it in Resistance and stuff as well.
That's true.
So,
she's gone.
Snoke's gone. Snoke is gone.
Well, yeah, Snoke's definitely gone. Might see a Force flash about him, though, I reckon.
You reckon there might be a little bit more?
Yeah, or even just a voiceover. Like, Kylo might still be struggling because he'll be the Supreme Leader, and then he'll probably just, have, sort of like a PTSD, thinking
he's in his
Snoke's
head.
still
kinda,
around.
he's still in
And
his
he's just
head.
Like, what? No. What? Like, yeah.
It's like,
he's
I'm in your
still-
head, boy.
Yeah. Gonna wear you like a glove.
Get that PG-13 rating. Luke gone, obviously, but
Well,
not
Force-
forgotten.
yeah, he'll be
I mean,
Force
it's pretty much
Yeah.
money down that we'll see Force Ghost Luke.
Yeah.
Or will it be flashback Luke?
Oh,
Or
no,
both.
it'll be the ghost. Because the training for Rey.
Well, we don't know. This is how far ahead. If we jump 5 years, you assume that
okay,
she's
for me, I'm
self-taught.
thinking 5 years. 5 years, yeah. Phasma is gone.
I assume Rey will be pretty much. She'll be at Luke.
be mature
She'll be at
and-
Return of the Jedi level Luke by the time, I reckon. In fact, I think she might
she'll
even.
be confident, but I think she'll still be that sort of naive at certain situations, and she'll have to learn again.
Well, I'll be
lessons.
curious to see because obviously Luke, the whole Return of the Jedi is that Luke isn't a Jedi until he confronts Vader. So
That's
basically, he's not a Jedi until the last 5 minutes of the film where he
Yeah.
chucks the lightsaber down. So I'll be curious to see whether Rey refers to herself as a Jedi from the jump. She's like, I'm a Jedi. I've done enough. I've done the yards.
Yeah.
I'm self-evaluating. No one's told me one way or another I'm not. Well, that's the thing. Luke turns up and is like, you're not actually a Jedi until you. Is it too much of a trope to just tread the same path where it's Rey's like,
Yeah.
I'm a Jedi, and he's like, you're not. You got to defeat Kylo Ren. He's like, well, I had to do it. It's like we've been here. Are we gonna hit
Yeah.
that similar
Yeah.
thing, or have we kind of seen that? Is it more interesting to have Rey from the jump being like, I'm a Jedi Knight, and I've got to get rid of the Sith Lord. Is Kylo Ren a Sith Lord now? Does he even believe in it, or is he just his own
Yeah,
thing?
well, Kylo, I reckon, well, he's clear, yeah, as we learned from the last movie, he's the Supreme Leader now, so I reckon he'll have, either his own command ship, and he'll have all these, squabbling political debates, because people are like, with Snoke gone, we haven't actually voted you in to take over,
But he'll be the sort of, making him the supreme leader makes him the head of the First Order, but it doesn't make him a master of the dark side, though.
Well, yeah.
So I think that might be the thing
But
where he's like,
just put himself in that position.
well, that's the thing. Like,
no
I think
one's said, well, we didn't actually say you are the Supreme Leader. You've just called yourself that.
but that
way.
probably makes it more interesting that he's kind of like, you are in charge of the First Order, but you're still a pretender to the dark side. You know what I mean? Like you're not. You're not.
Well, I don't
you're
know.
still
I
a-
don't see that
am-
pretending, because he's throwing Hux against the wall. He's pulling.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying he
towards
can
him.
do it, but
Like,
it's that validation of being, because the dark side has always been the master, then the apprentice, and then
Yeah,
the apprentice
the
kills
rule
the
of two.
master,
Yeah.
and then you're the top dog. Well, he's just like, well, I'm the top dog, but I didn't really, I was still kind of not. I still was learning about the dark side.
But then
Am I
you also got the
am I
Knights of Rain we haven't seen.
Yeah.
So he will have his number 2.
Yeah.
Or
But will he have a number
collapse.
2? But yeah, it'll be that thing of, does he think that he's legit, or does he
Because
feel like he's
Hux will
fooling
be
himself?
saying,
But Hux doesn't care. He's a political. He's more at the running of the First Order. So.
yeah, he deep down probably wants to be the Supreme Leader, or he wants the right candidate.
Yeah.
Candidate? No.
Yeah, because Palpatine was the head of the Empire, but he was also
right person,
But he was the head. Palpatine was the head of the Empire, but he was also the Dark Lord of the Sith.
Yeah.
So they were kind of two separate titles. He happened to be head dog on both of them. Where Kylo will be head of the First Order, but is he really the head? Like, is he the head?
Yeah.
I mean, by default, but I think because he's so racked with doubt, does he kind of like, oh, actually, I'm a bit of a pretender? And Rey, on the other hand, is like, well, no, I am a Jedi. I don't, I just need to, I don't need, I can self-validate and believe that. I mean, do I need Luke or Yoda to turn up to say you're a Jedi, or do I know myself that I'm a Jedi?
Yeah,
And that's
I
all the
should be
self.
told what
Yeah.
I
Do
am.
I need to be
Yeah.
told? Or can I just be? I am.
Yeah.
If I say I am, I am, and if I can do it, then I do.
yeah,
And that might be an interesting twist, actually, where Luke is basically waiting all Return of the Jedi, going, I'm a Jedi, and they're like, no, you're not. You got to do this thing that we want you to do, which is kill Darth Vader. And she's just like, I'm a Jedi. I don't need to kill anyone if I don't want to. Do what I want. So that might be interesting. I mean, it doesn't really play into who lives, who dies, but it's. I don't want to just retread Jedi and just have him go. Luke going, you got to kill Kylo before you're a Jedi.
Yeah.
She's like, well, being a Jedi is neither here nor there.
Do Do you reckon Finn will survive? I reckon he'll. He will. His death will help Rey truly become a Jedi because she'll realize, all right, my good friend has just been either murdered by Kylo. Like truly, he's being stabbed or like decapitated.
Pushed down a hole.
Or pushed down a hole.
Like Phasma.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, can they both...
And his... Or either Finn sacrifices himself and that shows Rey, like, wow, what a great guy. I should have gone on that date with him.
Oh.
Now I feel really bad.
Now I've got to take it out on Kylo.
But, like, you know, sort of teaches her, like, yep, wow, he's, you know, sacrificed himself. I'm now going to fight the good fight against Ben.
Well, Rey, Poe, and Finn.
Poe will, because
can all three make it to the end? Do you think all three can't make it?
All three can't make it.
One of them's at least got to go.
Finn,
you think's going to be the fall guy?
Because Poe's got to be, because he's taking over the Resistance.
Well, I think they're all going to be. I mean,
Republic.
Considering there was 10 of them left at the end,
yeah,
they're all going to be in pretty high up positions in the First Order.
Well, they're all heading to the Outer Rim to see where those other pilots are.
Yeah, that's right. It's in the comic.
Contacted them back, and they're like, "Well, let's go find out."
Have you read the Poe Dameron comic?
No, I haven't.
Because they go into that in the new Poe Dameron comic. They talk about Snap and those guys of where they are and whether they survive. And yeah, it's quite interesting. I won't spoil it for you, but
I'll give it a read.
Give it a read. So Poe, because Poe, at the end of Last Jedi, there's about 24 people left or a dozen people left. So you assume that whatever the Resistance is or the Rebellion or whatever they call themselves by the time we get to Episode 9.
Well, I think it's the Rebellion now.
Yeah, they'll all be pretty high up the food chain. Your Connixes, your Finn, Rey, whatever Rey's involvement is, whether she is part of the Resistance. She seems like she's on board.
I reckon she will be, and she'll have like her own little academy of training students.
Well, then she would be a Jedi by then.
Yeah. Or she might it'll be probably more like a mental teaching than actual. I don't want to be teaching you guys lightsabers yet. So she might have one pupil who she does teach.
What if she had an apprentice?
Well, yeah, maybe she has an apprentice, but the other students it's only like learning to control the Force. Then you will learn to wield a lightsaber. Like maybe she won't rush it because
Yeah, it's all timelines.
We saw in the prequels they had little kids that early. Learning to use it. It's like maybe don't teach them that early.
Yeah, whether she wants to run her academy. Well, it's all timelines. If she's got time, if we jump in later
5 years
and she's been Jediing for a few years and she feels confident to teach. If it's a year, she might just be like, "Hey, look, I'm still finding my feet here." So So I think Connix will probably be around. Leia's around. Yeah. Does she make it to the end?
I don't think she'll make it to the end.
I mean, they've kind of teased. They teased killing her off in the last film a couple of times.
Yeah.
I have a feeling she might make it. I feel like they'll just.
Well, JJ has said it's going to wrap all the trilogies, but
yeah,
we did. I don't know. We saw her birth, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, it would make sense that the big three have all sort of gone by the end of it, but at the same time, it's like, well. It would kind of be nice to end it and she's still there, but I guess it's also she's a little bit of a like while she's there, does it devalue of the journey of what the other characters below her have to do? Like it's the same with the Luke thing. It's like you've got to move Luke out of the way for Rey to really progress, and move Snoke out of the way for Kylo. If you keep those characters around, you're looking to them to solve everybody's problems.
Because they're just going to keep going to Kylo's just going to keep going to Snoke. Rey's just going to keep going to Luke. It's like, well...
Yeah, it's not their story.
They're not advancing anywhere.
Yeah, that's right. It's not their story. So Leia's probably slightly different, obviously, because she runs the Resistance and things. But I guess from Poe's point of view, is he running the Resistance or is Finn running the Resistance?
Him and Connix and maybe a few other generals they might meet up on planets that are with the Resistance are helping Poe guide.
They might just let Leia have a break. Just say, look, you've done enough. Just enjoy.
Well, she was pretty shot with they've all received the communication, but no one's answering. It's like, well,
I tried my best.
That was my private signal. So those people clearly...
She might have just gone around and knocked on some doors and be like, hey, remember me?
Yeah.
You know, I made it out. No
answer.
thanks to you. No thanks to you, you clowns.
Yeah.
Okay, so Leia, Chewie, given. They'll never get rid of Chewie.
Yeah, Chewie
Chewie will be fine. 3PO and R2, they'll just roll those into episode 10, 11, 12, 13. They'll just, you know, they're people in suits. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Kylo, does he make it out? Does he have to die to conclude the trilogy? Can he die and not be redeemed? Is it more interesting to see him die and not redeemed? Or die after being redeemed? Or die redeeming? Or just be like, you all can go to hell as he falls down a mine shaft or something?
I don't know. I reckon I can see him surviving. Possibly not redeemed, but like he'll be like, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Like everyone won't
At the end.
Yeah, the end.
I'm sorry.
Like no one's gonna be like, oh, we forgive you, but he'll be just like, I messed up a lot, and like he's paying for his sins and stuff, and then that's how it ends.
Like he's paying a penance.
With him like, you know, lock me up, or put like, you know,
I'll muck the stables.
What do I have to do? Like, yeah.
Yeah, that's a weird one, isn't it? Because you kind of go, oh.
Because if you kill him, because then it's just like, oh well, the hero wins. Got the bad guy. We all have a song and
You
dance.
almost feel like, will there be another bad guy that they have to focus on that Kylo has? You know, like a Palpatine. Do you do the same thing?
My dream thing is, and it's a badass scene. They recapture Rey. They bring Rey to Kylo, and then Hux is like, "Oh, you know, we're doing this all again. I've had enough."
Hux is an internet blogger.
You're under arrest. You are the true. You are just like the Resistance. Oh no, you're just like her. You're past Jedi scum, and it's Ben and Rey with lightsabers, and they're fighting together once again, even though she would probably hate it. But she has to rescue Ben from escaping the First Order because he's now...
Oh, they've turned on him.
Yeah, and Hux is now in charge.
Oh,
yeah, that's my dream thing. So then he's got no one. He's like, well, hey, I can't... The Resistance hates me. The First Order are now after me. It's like... I'm alone now.
So you have to do that earlier in the film.
All I have is literally Rey. So
you almost have to do that earlier in the film, don't you? So he rather than the conclusion, that basically he gets chewed out by the First Order.
Maybe 30 minutes in.
Yeah.
Because you would have the scroll explaining what's going on.
Oh, yeah. I don't mean the very start, but basically that if he walks away from the First Order, is chased out or on the run.
Chased out. Well, like, probably set up. Like, he'll, like... questioning somewhat, and then Hux is like set him up because he's just sick of his BS.
That Hux, he's a sneaky one.
I love Hux.
Yeah, I think they'll I think they'll tone down the comic relief on Hux the next one. I think they'll probably make him a little bit more vicious again.
See, I didn't see him as comic relief. I just saw him as like...
I didn't see him as comic relief, but he had
a whining, like, me. Like, what? This is not what I wanted. Like, wah. Like, he's just a baby. He's a big, like, just, you know, he murdered his dad to get where he got. You know, all the other captains and admirals can't stand him because he's a poor tactician. And,
he's got to go.
He's just... Yeah, he probably will go at the end as well. But
so I think Hux is probably more likely than Kylo, but it's not really his story. I mean, he could probably be collateral damage. But like I said, depends on what they do with him. If he outmaneuvers, if he outmaneuvers Kylo and manages to get control of the First Order and then runs Kylo out of town, which is an interesting take.
Yeah,
then he's basically Kylo's like, I'm on the run now,
and like you just see him like mowing down troopers, and he's just like, oh, okay, I have nowhere to go now, but it's just, and then you just see like Huck's on a command ship, like, all right, we've got to find him, put out all a bounty on his head, and then like and he's like, oh, he's in, he like he escapes. Maybe Ray's not there.
Maybe he's looking for his mum.
Maybe he thinks he's doing deals with Ray, so then he's like, oh, that's it. This is my chance to use this communication to say he's communicating with the Resistance, and then all the head honcho leftover First Order admirals or whatever are like, all right, Hux, you seem to have found sort of an evidence to this, to our current Supreme Leader. He's too close to these people because of Luke and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's arrest him or try to arrest him, and then he just like escapes.
Well, he could seek out Leia, or Leia could seek him out, and then he gets busted with Leia.
Yeah.
And then they're just like, you're freaking fraternizing with the enemy, you're still soft, you got to go.
Yeah. We're going to arrest you, and he just like... and then all the troopers...
That's interesting. So that could be a thing where they just like, he basically flips... Like, because the whole, talk is, will he be redeemed? Maybe he flips early in the movie. It's not even an issue that he actually...
I don't see it happening too.
Or maybe they're kind of like, you don't know which way he's going to go. He kind of comes back and he's
the whole movie, you're like, is he? Is he not? Is he not? And then like this thing happens and you're just like, whoa, what the hell? Even the First Order are trying to kill him. That's awesome.
This is all good food for thought. The thing is, because it still feels so far away. Like, I know it's filming and stuff. It's kind of...
it's another... Well, year,
11,
2 months.
Yeah, it's still a while away because I haven't really gone on to the spoiler stuff. There's been a little bit of, they're just outside somewhere doing something. There isn't really, there isn't any, and I don't search out the, whatever they show me in the trailers will be fine. Like I don't need to see anything else.
That's all I need to see.
But we'll know more, when the, when it all sort of winds up and stuff and it gets close to, we'll get a better idea of when it takes place and things. And I think we'll get a title. We'll probably end up getting a title
what's your
soon.
title? Because I know any title people bring up is like, well, yeah, that could be it. Like,
yeah, I haven't really.
See, for me, mine is so we had The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi. I think the one I was thinking of was Star Wars Episode 9, The New Order.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking
Does that count for the New Order of the Jedi? The New Order of, like, the peace in the world? Like,
you could just put end of the order. Or end of an order. I don't know. I like the idea of putting end in there, though, because if they're supposedly wrapping this up.
Well, we already had last in The Last Jedi.
Which wasn't even... Well, yeah. It was...
Or even just New Order. Episode 9, New Order.
New Order, like the band. You get a little bit of Blue Monday. I think it's it. Or is that... I can't remember if that's... Well, it's all good food for thought, Andy. We'll no doubt we will catch up as we go along and we'll get more tidbits and things and we'll find out stuff.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
You're back in town now. So you'll be getting on the mic with Catherine, I assume, soon.
Yeah, we'll be firing up the mics very soon on that Geek Pod.
Sounds good. Well, you can find all our stuff at Star Wars Spelt and leave us a review on iTunes and download. And if you like Peppa Pig, I do a Peppa Pig podcast with Matt Frost. So you can find that at Peppa Pig Pod. And any closing thoughts before we sign off, Andy?
May the Force be with you.
Very apt. Thanks again, mate.
You too, bye.
Bye.